Welcome back, friends and neighbors, to another exciting episode of Spitball Media Podcast. This is where we spit out the top entertainment stories around the globe. My name is John Draper. Joining me, as always, is none other than the man himself, the Prince of Philadelphia, born and raised. Shah, how are you in the cold, cold, cold town of South Philly or wherever you're at these days?
Good. I'm dreading tomorrow. Apparently, we're getting like 6 inches.
I know people get 6 inches every day, Shah.
Yeah.
Every
Well, I hope most people
yeah.
get 6 inches that have vaginas. At least.
I would hope so. Is it cold though? It's one more. It's freezing. It's like 20 degrees before the wind chill.
Yeah. It's actually 21 degrees here. We're expecting snow overnight, so I'm taking tomorrow off because the roads are going to be shitty.
Yeah, not worth it. Dangerous on the dance floor. Speaking of danger, that's his middle name. You know him, you love him. He was out. He's back. He's feeling better. B-Show Brian. B-Show. People want to know, are you feeling better? Are you going to be with us? Do we need to get a GoFundMe? What is happening here?
I died last week. I'm just here in spirit. So, no, thanks. And thank you for those who reached out. I know a couple people reached out to see how I was. I had a bad infection in my mouth. And once I drained the infection, I feel a shitload better. No thanks to my doctor. So
between that and the 6 inches, I don't know what else to say, B-Show. Between that and the 6 inches. But if you're joining us for the first time, we appreciate you checking us out. We do a lot of movie talk. We talk about a lot of news stories in the Hollywood world, streaming, you name it. But you don't get the full show, really, because even after we end on the free, we turn around and drop another episode each and every week, a mini episode. It's like a half hour plus, all original content. And the only way to hear that is by going to patreon.com /backslash Spitball Media. Shah, I mean, it's still, even for 2024, still the most affordable premium program package in the business.
Yeah, man. There's no such thing as a dollar meal anymore. So this is the closest thing to it. $5.
So a $5 meal, like a $5 meal.
Yeah, I don't even think those exist anymore. So we're cheaper than any drive-through.
I don't know. B-Show $5 meals. What can we get for $5 at the dollar menu these days? Two things.
I think they have a thing called a biggie bag at Wendy's. You can get like not a McDouble, a small double cheeseburger, double stack with like fries and a Frosty or something for $5. But our value is better than that because we have thousands of hours of content. We have shows going back to the old days where we talked about current events, leading into now what we talk about entertainment. We've got Q&As, we've got bonus shows, a lot of stuff that we don't normally talk about on the normal show we have on the Patreon. So if you followed John from Wrestling Soup, or if you followed Shaheen from was it THT, and what was the other show?
Wrestling Overdose. I did that for like 6 months.
Yeah. So don't always talk about wrestling, but there's certain topics that we get to that we don't always cover on the main show. So for all that extra stuff, go to Spitball Media on Patreon.
Yes, and of course, thank you to the many people who have been keeping the lights on this place for a long time. My internet is a little punchy, but we have very bad weather here. There's really not much I can do about it. I live somewhere in Mordor during the winter. But please consider going to patreon.com /break the app. It's just $5. Thousands of hours of entertainment there. And of course, we want to say thank you to everybody chilling in the chat. We got Joe Punches. We got Jarek Braxton. We got Chris Matthews, fresh from his vacation there. I know you were out of the country there, my friend. And of course, is that Terrell? Oh, there's Terrell right there. Okay. We got Terrell's joining us. I just want to miss anybody, Marquise. And of course, thank you guys to be hanging out. It's a cold, cold night. I don't know where you are, but wherever you are, it's probably freezing. And if not, I am very jealous of you. But B-Show, there was a lot of people concerned about you. I believe I referred to you as Big Show. That's how upset I was. I was very scared.
You did, and you actually you suggested, or Shah did, that my theme song for the Patreon bonus shows, which I'll be putting one up this month, it should be the Big Show theme. I don't know about that, but we'll see.
Yeah. Shah, that was totally accidental when I called him Big Show.
Yeah, but it was very fit. I think him coming into that theme, man, that shit would be fucking great.
B-Show, are you going to drop that solo show this weekend for these people on the Patreon?
I'm gonna try to do it this weekend. If I can record it tomorrow night, I will. But I might have to record it over the weekend, so I'll let you guys know.
Yeah, so I think B-Show, we already know that your theme for the Patreon show, we already know what that's going to be.
It's just gonna be me talking about being fat for like an hour.
Stop it.
I'm
But
gonna
B
point
Show missed a show,
out,
so he's gonna bless you guys with a bonus show this weekend, and then at the end of the month, guys, we don't want to forget the Shah, your favorite show each and every month is back. The question and answer show, the first one of 2024, the first one in like 4 months, Shah.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. We haven't done that shit for 4 months. Been a while. Hopefully, we don't have like you said, 4 months worth of questions though. You know,
If we
we
do,
don't
we'll
want to do
have
a
to break it down.
6-hour
Like we'll
show.
just have No, we'll have to break it down. So they have time till the end of the
Yeah.
month. And of course, B Show is going to be dropping a solo bomb podcast there, talking all about his burliness. And of course, thank you to you guys for checking this out. Thank you. Of course, Kevco TV. What's up, Kevco? I didn't see you there, pal. So thank you guys for hanging out. So an interesting week in entertainment. We did have the Emmys over the weekend. Just a quick glance over Succession and The Bear, two of my favorite shows. One big. But one thing I wanted to do before we jump into the genre podcast that we're going to be doing today, guys. I just had a quick question for the two of you. Since you're not huge TV watchers, Shah never really watches TV. Bisha watches some TV. What did you guys think of the report that this is the lowest Emmys of all time? Like of all time. And the Emmys have been around for 7 decades, maybe more than that. Shah, what was your reaction to that? Are you not surprised? Do you think that's just the way it's going to be? And every year we're just going to hit a new low?
Yeah, I think every year, the viewership is going to go down unless they incorporate it somehow into like YouTube and Twitch and, you know, where everybody's basically watching their entertainment nowadays. Because everybody's on TikTok, man. They get TikTok clips. They see who won, and that's essentially all they need. They don't need to watch the whole show. You know, we grew up on watching the whole 3-hour marathon and watching the MTV Awards, and you know the interviews before the show was some of the best ones because you'd see like, you know, drunk Madonna just being sloppy on the red carpet. Like that was the entertainment to me. You know, I remember Andy Dick was like pretty crazy on the red carpet, and Tom Green I remember used to wild out when I first came to America. Well, not first, but like a couple years after I entered. But yeah, those were some of my first television memories in America. So I miss seeing like the Golden Globes and the music awards and all that stuff. But you know, I don't have cable. It's not worth it. I don't watch enough TV.
Well, it is on network. It's always on network. I think CBS had it. B Show, did your wife watch the Emmys? Did anybody you know care about the Emmys? I watch so much TV and I just didn't even care.
No, I don't know anyone that was watching it, and I think the last person, my friend MJ, that's really into like artsy fartsy stuff. I think she even gave up on it a year or two ago. But you know, like Shah said, I always watched like not the Emmys or the Golden Globes. I would watch like the VMAs or the MTV Awards because it was almost riffing on that stuff because the big award shows, and I guess it's a big accomplishment, they always took themselves super seriously. And then at
Right.
MTV, you got Matt and Trey on acid in a fucking Jennifer Lopez dress, wigging out.
Well, they
And
actually
it's
wore that to the Academy Awards, believe it or not. They actually
oh,
wore
was
that
it?
to
I
the
thought that was the
Academy Awards.
VMAs. Wow.
No, they wore that, I think, to the Academy Awards because they
Oh
were
my God.
nominated for their musical. For South Park was nominated for song. It lost that year, I think, to Phil Collins for
Phil
the
Collins.
Tarzan movie. They were very angry about that. They wanted Amy Mann to win for Magnolia. They were happy that they really were hoping Amy Mann would beat them because they knew they would never win. And I like you guys. I grew up on the VMAs, like, and of course the MTV Movie Awards. You guys remember that? That started a little later after the VMAs. Those things were like super, super important. That's where I got. That was generationally our Emmys, our Grammys, our Academy Awards. Most of us probably liked artists that weren't represented at the Grammys generally. So, or like TV shows that weren't ever going to win an Emmy, you know, so we watched the VMAs. But it's interesting to see that cultural shift, that's for sure. But we have a very special evening planned. We did not prepare for this up until an hour or so ago, but here's where this stemmed from for people that don't know. So earlier today, my good friends, many people know Jason Solomon, known as the Solo Monster, posted that it was the anniversary of the release of a movie that a lot of people think is great. I think it's just okay. And he referred to it as the greatest found footage movie of all time. I'm talking about Cloverfield. And I don't dislike Cloverfield. I saw it in theaters when it came out. I thought it was meh. Didn't blow me away. Shah, you a big Cloverfield guy?
I like the original. Not the sequels though, but I did like the original. I wouldn't put it in my top 5 found footage films though.
Me neither.
As above,
Me
so below. Like, I mean, come on, dude.
Poughkeepsie tapes.
Yeah, Poughkeepsie, even the Blair
You know.
Witch Project. I mean, that was
Oh yeah, Blair Witch Project was way better.
Blair
Way
Witch
better.
Project, Cannibal Holocaust. I mean, there's a
That's
lot.
technically a found footage. I guess
Yeah.
that's a found footage movie.
It is.
Show, are you a Cloverfield guy?
I don't think I've ever seen Cloverfield. Is that the
Really?
one with the big monster in the city?
Yeah, New
Yeah,
York.
it's all found footage. It's New York.
Hmm.
Looks okay. It's just it's very. I think it's very.
It's good.
As
No, I
we say,
thought it was
you know. Yeah, it's fine. It's okay. It's not terrible. I like the sequel. It was not it was the 21 Cloverfield Lane, whatever movie. Very different kind of movie. It was more like a tense drama, almost like a fucking foreign film. But anyway, when he said that, I started thinking, well, what is the best found footage movie? But I didn't want to really just bring it to found footage because that's a niche within a niche, right? So I started thinking, well, what about genre? What about age? What about specific, 80s versus 90s, 2000s? We're 24 years into 2000s. So we thought it would be fun if we brought some films that were not obvious or not mainstream obvious from different categories, from different genres. So we have a few different genres tonight. Some of them are a little bit more difficult than others. We're talking about comedy, horror, drama, action. Me personally, I feel like action films always do well outside of the 80s. I grew up with renting 80s movies. So I don't really have my 80s ones were probably the most popular ones of all time. There's a couple of 80s ones I would say action wise, but one of the things when I was talking to my brother Mike from the Necromaniacs podcast about this, he made a comment too, which I think we might spend another show on going forward and maybe even involve him because I think this would be fascinating. Mike from Necromaniacs said the 90s is probably the worst genre of horror films of all time, like the absolute worst. And I don't know that he's wrong, but what I found, Shah, was that when I was looking into movies that I wanted to recommend, the 90s has bangers of everything outside of that horror world. I'm talking about comedies, irreverent comedies, very good, amazing dramas, like groundbreaking dramas. Would you agree? Because I know you're very astute when it comes to these things. Do you think the 90s might have been the worst horror genre period of all time?
No, I would say the early 2000s. The early 2000s was one of the roughest ones. Because I mean, we had The Ring. I think Ring came out in 99 though.
Yeah, it's the 90s.
The Ring, and then after that, it just kind of went downhill. Ever since Paranormal Activity and movies like that, I feel like the Blumhouse genre came in. Prior
Does anybody
to
know the
Blumhouse
first
even
Blumhouse movie? Does anybody know the first Blumhouse movie? Anybody?
No.
You
I
know it?
watched Dark Skies this weekend, and I didn't realize Blumhouse did that. You see
That's
that
a
movie?
Blumhouse movie?
Yeah, it's
I
one of
know
the
Dark
early ones.
Skies. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Bisha, what do we think? What would be maybe the first Blumhouse film?
It is Paranormal Activity.
Okay. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I liked it when it came out. I didn't like the 8 after. Maybe 2 of them were okay.
Wait, hold on. That's their actual first movie?
I believe so, yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Yo, I just totally made that up. That should show you how predictable the product is.
Wow.
I had no idea.
Okay.
I totally just made that up. I was just saying Paranormal Activity because I remember I saw that in the theater, and ever since then, everything became predictable.
Yeah.
I just aligned that with Blumhouse, but I didn't realize they actually made it. That's crazy.
Bisho, do you think the 90s was the worst genre for horror of all time, film-wise, features?
There's good stuff out there, so it's not like they were all losers. So it's hard to say. It's hard to argue.
Yeah.
But I'd have to go back to
argue.
like early 2000s is possible. I like Shah's point there. I'd have to go back and look at like the 50s and the 60s because there was like a lot of Atomic Age, like Attack of the Giant Spider type of shit. It was really bad looking. So either one of those three, but yeah, the 90s. Yeah, 90s is pretty rotten. There was a lot of like bad TV horror movies and stuff.
Yes,
on USA
yeah, almost like made for TV. So we thought we would just go from the 80s, right? Because the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, and people in the chat, throw yours in there, genre-wise. So I thought maybe the best way to go would be the 80s. We'll start lighthearted, maybe with some comedies. We only picked a handful each. I think Bisha only picked one. I picked 3. Shah, how many did you pick?
Sorry, I was on mute. I'm still going through my list because as we discussed it, We just came up with this an hour ago, so I'm still
I
going
know.
through my.
Yeah.
I'm going through my movie app, still picking stuff.
Yeah,
so
I
I'm
have a
confident
list.
enough to say three for each category for each decade.
I have a list. I have a list. So, as the elder statesman who remembers the 80s a lot better than you guys do, I'm going to drop my 80s comedies, if that's okay with you guys. And you may have seen them, you might not. These are not very obvious. They might be. I don't know. I'm going to be 53 years old. So I don't know. I honestly, and I'm starting to look at every second of the day. But three that stood out to me in terms of quality and quantity. The first one you may have seen. It's considered very art house these days. I think because of who directed it. But B-Show, it's a little film that I saw in theaters in 1987 called 3 O'Clock High. Are you guys familiar with 3 O'Clock High, B-Show?
No.
I've heard of it. I've never seen it though.
Yeah. Do you want to pull it up real quick?
I'm getting there. Yeah.
Yeah. 3 O'Clock High, 1987. It is now considered a cult genre film. It is about an after-school fight between a very nerdy Casey Sazamesco, whatever, versus this guy who actually you guys might recognize. He looks like a caveman. Jeffrey Tambor, I think, is a teacher in this movie. Not very good. I mean, this is an excellent film. Excellent fucking movie. Who's that? Is this I can't see him. Sorry.
Philip Baker Hall.
Philip Baker Hall. He was, I think, the teacher. He was the dean. Jeffrey Tambor is the teacher. Basically, a kid gets into a weird altercation with a bully who just came to the school, and the bully says he's going to kill him after school, and the kid tries to figure out every way he could to not fight this guy, and it's amazing. It's fucking a brilliant comedy, very almost like a foreign film. B-Show, you've heard of it, but you've never seen it.
Yeah, I know the concept. I've heard of it. And I'm familiar with the poster artwork too, but no, never seen it actually.
And Shah, you've never heard of it at all.
No, I don't think I've ever seen the trailer, seen the movie, or heard of it.
Well, it's a lot of people love it now. They think it's great. Joe Punch is saying Raising Arizona. Joe Punch's Raising Arizona was a highly touted film when it came out. It was considered a classic. I remember Cisco and Lieber saying it was classic.
Yeah, it's a banger.
But I saw this. Yeah, it's a banger. I saw this in theaters and I loved it. Maybe let's go round robin. Shah, what do you got there for your 80s comedy? Does the 80s comedy stand out to you that might not be that popular, but you think it's fucking enormous?
I don't think it's enormous at all. I think it's a really cheap movie that no one has probably heard of, including you guys. It's a Vinegar Syndrome movie that they put out. It's from the 80s for sure. It's called Wacko. It's a horror comedy. Absolutely atrocious. It's really cheesy, like very, very much a B movie. That's it right there.
Oh, I love this already.
Yeah. I don't know if, yeah, there you go.
What is the premise of Wacko?
Shit, man. It's about finding a killer that comes around
Nice.
every year. And basically there's crooked cops in there, and it's around Halloween time. So it's a cool little
Anybody famous?
not that I can recall.
Okay, I'm
Not
curious.
that I can
George
recall.
Kennedy.
George Kennedy, Joe Don Baker. These are famous people.
Dice.
Andrew Dice Clay, Shah?
Oh yeah, Andrew Dice Clay was in there. Yeah, I forgot he was
E.G.
in there.
Daly.
E.G. Daly.
Charles Napier.
What? Shah, these famous people. There's so many famous people.
I don't know
in this
names,
movie.
man. I don't know names.
Julia Duffy. These are Stella
Yeah.
Stevens. Wait,
Helen
the
Martin.
grandma from what is that?
I don't remember her in there. I don't remember.
Shah,
Helen
this is
Martin.
this is so many people. Hillbilly Jim is in it. Is that Hillbilly Jim, motherfucker?
No, John Bristol.
Bruiser Brody,
Okay.
man.
John.
Bruiser
He's one of
Brody's
the hillbilly guys
Okay.
from Terminator that loses their
Yeah, I
stuff.
think he's the guy he steals the jacket from. Shah, is it funny?
Not at all. It's so bad it's funny.
Altman? Oh,
You know what I mean? It's one of those movies, but it has a charm. You know, it's one of those movies that's.
Oh my God, I need to see this movie. Wow, I've never heard of this
You
in my
should.
life. Dice, a young Dice, probably playing Italian.
Yes, leather jacket and all.
Of course. What
Tony
year is this
Schlagini.
movie? Oh my
That's
God,
his name
he
in the
is
movie.
playing Italian. Jesus fucking Christ. Cultural appropriation. B-Show, how you got to top these?
Mine's a little bit more, I guess someone already mentioned it in the chat. I think it's a little bit more mainstream, but like growing up, everyone I knew of who knew 80s movies talked about John Hughes movies. They talked about like White Hot American Summer or Wet Hot American Summer, whatever it is.
Oh, that was way later. That was in the 2000s. That was like an homage to those movies.
I'm thinking Porky's then. Sorry.
Oh, I
So
love Porky's.
people are always talked about those movies, but I never saw anyone talk about Better Off Dead.
Oh my God, B-Show.
That has become over the years one of my favorite 80s comedies just because
It was my number 2.
Oh, was it? Nice.
Yeah, and Chris Matthews mentions it in the goddamn chat.
Yep. So for those of you who don't know, it's John Cusack, and he's a skier in high school, and his girlfriend dumps him.
Amazing.
His girlfriend dumps him
amazing.
for like the typical jock guy. His best friend is Charles DeMar, played by the guy who plays Booger on Animal House,
Right.
and he's so depressed and despondent because he's obsessed with this girl that he's trying to kill himself. And then you've got the creepy neighbor who, ironically enough, is played by the creepy dude from Nickelodeon. What's his name? Dan Schneider. And he's trying to
Wow.
fondle the French foreign exchange student the whole movie.
Oh, I forgot that's the real Dan Snyder. Oh my God.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, here he is. There's side by side.
Oh.
It is just the most weird, offbeat, just random, goofy shit. And it's directed by Savage Steve Holland, who is an illustrator for Mad Magazine or National Lampoon. So there's a lot of weird bits, like a claymation hamburger dancing to Van Halen.
Everybody wants some Van Halen. Fucking rules that scene.
Oh, it's awesome.
Chris
and then
Matthews was already in it.
Charles DeMar, he's trying to get drugs, but it's such a small town. He's snorting like Jello and snow.
He's snorting snow. Yeah.
Do you realize the street value of this mountain?
Oh my God! It's Christmas Eve.
I could be home drinking this killer eggnog my brother makes with lighter fluid. What are you doing up here, man?
Shah, have you ever seen this movie? It's amazing.
Oh, I don't think I have. No. I know the poster though. Like I've seen the cover at Blockbuster and stuff like that, but I've never seen it myself.
Yeah. Sorry, your mom's in a coma, Ricky. There's so many great lines.
Sorry, your mom blew up, Ricky.
Sorry, your mom blew up, Ricky. And then the French foreign student girl, so cute. Yeah. What an 80s babe she was. I know she's in a lot of other stuff.
Diane,
Slave Cheeks is in the building. Here he is. Wow. I love this movie. Shah, you got to check it out. Very young Cusack there, a young booger. The girl who played the French student was in a bunch of 80s movies. There it is, the left. Everybody wants some Van Halen, but you can get right there. You just saw the hamburger playing guitar there. Yeah, it has like an 80s clay. He's got the Eddie Van Halen guitar. Just a fun, great, wonderful fucking movie. I highly recommend it. It was the number 2 I was gonna pick. Bisho, there's the 3 of them right there. There's the girlfriend, the French foreign student, and Booger.
Oh yeah,
look at that. Comes Better Off Dead with that. How do you take that picture without Cusack? Honestly,
I don't know.
Yeah, well, Cusack's very busy right now, getting hate on the internet for acting weird. But Shah, what's your next pick? Because that was my next pick.
My next one is not as underrated as the last one. It is The Burbs with Tom Hanks from 1983. I love that movie. One of the earliest, like, quote unquote, cult movies I've seen.
Yeah, people love it. It's a box office bomb, by the way, which is
was it?
Probably makes. I'm fairly certain because Tom Hanks, this was considered one of his worst movies, like critically.
Yeah. One of my favorites. I love.
People love this one. Malachi from Children of the Corn is in it.
Yeah, I think it's the closest he did to horror, right?
Yeah. What's the premise of this again?
It's basically he lives in the suburbs and they think that their neighbors are a satanic cult. So
and they are.
Yeah,
Corey Feldman
fits right the 80s.
Bruce Dern. Wow. Bisho, can you do me a favor? I just want to see what this is a critic. I have a feeling this was a bomb. I really do, because Tom Hanks was a megastar already, kind of. Carrie Fisher's in it. Oh my goodness, there's big people in this.
Corey Feldman.
It's got a 55 on Rotten Tomatoes, 45 on Metrics. I wonder what the box. I guarantee you this thing did 49 million. Probably cost like 15 million. Maybe it wasn't a bomb, but it just was not critically acclaimed. But no one talks about this movie. I mean, honestly,
it was 18 million budget, made 50 million. That's not bad.
Wow, not a bomb. Not a bomb at all, but a critic's bomb. I mean, a 55% for reviews is pretty bad. You know, Shah, when was the last time you watched it?
Not too long ago. Arrow put it out on Blu-ray.
Just the fact that Arrow wanted it and that cast and didn't, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like a major studio didn't care to pick this up. You know what I'm saying?
Well, sometimes the major studios put out their own version and then they license it out to these boutique labels like Scream Factory and stuff. So, for example, like the Evil Dead 2013, the studio put it out on Blu-ray, but like 5 years later, they let Scream Factory put it out on 4K. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So,
Yeah, I
but
haven't
like,
watched this in years, man. I don't remember it. I just remember
it's
it
fun.
had like a wacky ending, right?
Yeah, it's fun. I don't want to spoil it. People should check it out. It's fun. It's a fun movie. You know.
Yeah. B-Show, have you seen it?
Familiar with it? Have not seen it. No.
Okay. Well, this is one to check out. B-Show, do you have any other movies before I move on to mine, or was that you only did one per genre?
I did one per genre because like I could come up with a bunch of great 80s comedies, but
Mm, they're all
in
popular.
our circles, most people have already seen them and know about them. So
Well, I have my next one, and it's a banger. And I love this movie. I see it getting props now for how inappropriate it is. And I just think we should just look past that because it's phenomenal. I've rented this movie 100 times as a kid. I watched it every day. I would keep it from the video store for weeks. There may have been some tissues involved for one scene in particular. I am talking about a classic, an epic classic, a coming of age tale called Just One of the Guys. Has either one of you ever heard or seen Just One of the Guys?
I have not. No. I
I'm
haven't seen
familiar
any
with
of these
it. I've
movies.
not seen it though.
Yeah, this is a classic. I consider this an absolute this is an 80s classic in every way. The reason being is because the premise is so wacky, the girl is so insanely attractive, and they make her look like Ralph Macchio, and she's got huge cans, which you do see in the movie as a big reveal in the end. It's basically a girl who's trying to I think she's a high school senior, and she's writing a paper on like I guess like men's rights or women's rights anyway, and she decides to start going to school as a guy, as an exchange student. And Cheryl Lynn Fenn Bisho becomes like a love interest for her.
Oh
Uh,
shit!
Johnny from the Karate Kid is the villain. Uh, and neither one of you have seen or heard of this movie.
Is this kid from Fright Night?
No, it's Billy Jacoby. He's not from Fright Night. He's from a lot of
Okay.
80s things, but not Fright Night. Dude, look at her at the side by side. I think that's her in a bikini and her as a boy, like right there. Like this girl was I've never seen her in a movie ever again. It's 1985 and it was PG and there was she's topless in it multiple times. Just outrageous. There's Sherilyn Fenn, Bisho. Look how cute she is there.
That's Sherilyn Fenn.
Yeah, that's Sherilyn Fenn. Click on
Oh
it.
my god.
I'm pretty sure. Go to the cast. I've seen this. I haven't seen this in 20 years, but
Yeah, you're right, man.
yeah, Sherilyn Fenn. Who's the main girl? Joyce. Her name is Joyce. I'm on my own.
Joyce
Uh,
Heiser.
Joyce Heiser. Couple of TV people in this.
Oh, Stuart Charno. He was in Friday the 13th Part 2.
Yeah, he has like a pet iguana in the movie or something.
I
It's
remember.
this is a very fun. It's funny, like it's very ahead of its time. It's got a great cast for its time, and you know, like it's got some really good looking girls on it too. But if you've never seen it, it is a total classic. Chris Matthews has seen it. He likes it. Oh, Terrell T says it's a Billy Zabka classic. Any movie I think with Billy Zabka as a villain, guys, from the Karate Kid is a classic.
And good call with Slade Cheeks. Billy Jacoby was in Parker Lewis Can't Lose. That's why he looks familiar.
No, that's many years later. This is 1985. He would have been in his 30s probably at that point. Click at
Can
Billy Jane. Oh, it's Billy Jane. Click on him. Maybe that is right. Click on the one Billy Jane. Thought it was Billy
Can I make a
Jacoby.
confession?
Hmm?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, Parker Lewis. Okay.
I have never seen The Karate Kid.
Really?
Yeah.
Even the Will Smith one with his son?
No, I definitely didn't see that one.
Well, that's good.
Isn't that crazy?
Shah, you
I've
need to
never
watch
seen
it.
Star Wars, never seen Karate Kid.
And we still let you in the country, which is very strange.
Yeah, I know.
I figured that would have been on some sort of list. You
No,
know,
but
you
like
have
a
to
lot
watch-
of movies I was familiar with because they played them in Germany, and I had cassette tapes in Iran. So I was familiar with a lot of the movies, but that just wasn't one of the ones that I
That's
gravitated
wild.
towards.
Well, I'd love to see this get a release. It's on Tubi, guys. And it's very like it's so 80s. Look at her. Dude, she's gorgeous. I mean, like, and she's tall. Like it was very strange that we would believe that she was a boy, Bisho. But that's her as a boy with Sherilyn Fenn.
Holy shit.
And it's directed by a woman, Lisa Gottlieb. Yeah.
Definitely ahead of its time for sure. I
Yeah,
wonder, do you
100%.
think that's why she didn't do any more movies? Maybe she got a lot of
I don't know.
backlash
I
for
think
it.
there's some stories behind this that aren't that great, to be honest with you. I've never,
Mm.
Slave Cheek said the Iranian Karate Kid. I like that, B Show. B Show, we should produce that for Shah. Shah, you could be like the Mr. Miyagi in the Iranian Karate Kid.
That's what I've wanted to be my whole life.
By the way, Shah, I thought of you. I was watching Jeopardy, and they said the original term for Aryans, what country, and the person got it as Iran. And I knew it. I was the only one who knew it in the room.
That surprises people, man, because
Yeah.
it
Joe
blew
Punch is
my
talking about.
mind.
Yeah, no, you taught us that. You taught me that. Shah, do you have your another 80s comedy we can walk through here?
Yeah, I can't recommend this as a actual funny movie, but it's another charming film, and it is Earth Girls Are Easy.
That's very culty. Not a big box office movie, but it's got big people in it.
It's got
very, very
I think
culty.
Damon Wayans. It's got Jim Carrey, Jeff Goldblum.
Goldblum.
Oh,
Who's the
wow.
girls in it? Is it from MTV there? What's her face? Julie Brown.
Julie
and who's
Brown.
the other? And Gina Davis. This is where Gina Davis met and married what's his face there? The actor there, The Fly.
What a dumb movie this is. But
it's a terrible movie. Goldblum.
It's really bad.
Cast. Charlie Rocket.
Michael McKean's in this movie?
A lot of people in this movie. Here, hold on, let's see. A lot of 80s people. Lisa Fuller looks familiar.
Anything with Jim Carrey, I'm sold on though. This was one of his earlier.
Well, yeah. This was like a wacky, irreverent comedy. I guarantee you, bet you this is like a 30 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, it's so bad. It's
so
bad.
terrible. It's really terrible. Wayne Brady's in it.
Though. Yeah, Wayne Brady.
Wayne fucking Brady's in this movie. Bisho, have you ever seen it? I'm sure you've heard of it.
No, I've heard of it, but yeah,
68,
66% Metacritic, 68 Rotten Tomatoes, 5.4 on IMDb.
5.4 on IMDb is very bad. It's very bad. Wow, that would be a cool name for a band or something, like as a retro Earth Girl. Well, I always thought Gina Davis had major sex appeal. Like, I know I'm not the only person who felt that way, but
I could never figure out if she was an attractive ugly girl or an ugly attractive girl. She's like straddles this weird line.
Yeah, very. I don't know. Shah, what do you think? I always thought she had like major sex appeal. This woman, I don't know.
No, I was never into her.
Yeah, I was. I mean, she's my age. Like I was like a child when she was on like Family Ties and like in her 20s or something.
She for some reason reminded me of Julia Roberts.
Look at her, dude. Look at her body in that bikini though. Look at the length of her legs, dude. Jesus
and I never found Julia Roberts attractive. My mom used to watch Pretty Woman all the time, and I couldn't get the gist of her being, the quote unquote pretty woman. But I just she's not ugly.
Davis, no, far from it, of course. Gina Davis actually was an Olympic archer. She was on our Olympic team in her 40s for his archery.
She's got a nice body, but fills out that lawn chair pretty good.
Yeah, she's very long. Wow, look at the length of her legs. My God. If no one's ever seen this, check this out. Kevco calls it a classic film, but people are talking about Back to School. That's just a mainstream gem. Once Bitten is a pretty funny movie, but that could have been on this list. But that's our 80s comedies. Guys, let's cut to the chase. Let's go right to the 80s horror. Bisho, why don't you drop us an 80s horror bomb you got there for us?
I've got one we might have talked about before. I think it's called Hell Night.
Yeah.
Let me pull it up here. It basically takes place in this big abandoned mansion. It's almost like a college dare on, I think, Halloween to go stay the night there. It's got Linda Blair in it for The Exorcist. And then they find this weirdo, I don't want to say inbred, but this weirdo family that lives in the catacombs under the house, and they start showing up and killing people.
Did they ever remake that Bisho?
They may have. Let me find out.
I feel like they may. Is that Linda Blair in it?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I might have been on a list of movies we were going over. I don't know. Maybe it was Linda Blair movies. I have no idea, but I like that movie a lot. You know what I mean?
We were talking about The Exorcist. We talked about it a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely into it. I'm definitely into it. But, I think that, there's an interesting cast there. I feel like
there wasn't really a whole lot of high-profile people other than her.
No, not really. Not really. Shah, have you seen it?
Yeah, I own it.
You own it. Okay. Shah, what's your first 80s underrated gem?
So it's an Italian zombie movie. I just found out it was shot 20 miles from Rome, which is kind of crazy. Wow. It's called Burial Ground from 1981.
Oh, I know if I've seen Burial Grounds. Let me see.
It's a cult classic.
Yes. Oh, this is a good one. Nobody talks about this that much.
And this weird looking dude
filter on there. That's crazy.
Dude, it's got the most disturbing fucking scene where this this guy that I don't know, he's probably like 30 years old. He's playing a child, in the movie, and he's sucking on a tit. It's the weirdest fucking. It's that guy right there with the woman. Click on him.
Yeah.
He's playing a
Oh.
kid. He's a fucking
Wow.
grown adult. He's sucking on a titty.
Bisha, what's with
That's
this
fucking
safe
weird.
search, man? Is this
I
your
just
kids'
turned it off
Google?
and it won't turn off.
That is the strangest thing I've ever seen. My God. How weird
This
is
is a
that?
great movie. I love
great
this, and I
movie.
love
Yeah, I
the
like
zombies.
this. Who directed this, Shah? I gotta check this out again.
I don't know. Yeah, click on that IMDb. Just click that link right there. The picture that you're on, if you just click the link underneath.
I
Yeah,
can't
shit.
believe the safe search
Sorry.
will not come off. It's wild.
I know. I tried it
Did
last
you
time
right
we
click?
talked about
Try
that.
right click. Yeah, did you right click and you still can't do it?
No. It says
Wow.
it's off, so I don't know.
It's not. Yeah, I know this movie, Shah. I just haven't seen it in a while. Maybe I saw it once. And it's
Yeah, what do you wanna
Italian
see,
dubbed,
Shah?
right?
Yeah, maybe pull it up on Yahoo or something.
No, it's just yeah, I guess, but yeah. At this point, I'd say DuckDuckGo is your best friend, Bisha.
If you haven't
Oh,
seen
yeah.
it, John, you would like this a lot. This is like
No,
one
I've
of
seen it. I
those.
just haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah.
So I was trying to keep it to movies that I may have seen in theaters because I saw quite a few of these movies in theaters, but it was a little impossible to do that. But one movie that I didn't see in theaters that I read about in Fangoria that I know a lot of people say they like, I just don't hear a lot of people talking about it ever really that much, is for me a movie I did see in theaters actually in 1986. I'm talking about the Stephen King adaptation of Maximum Overdrive. I was
Oh.
obsessed with this movie when it came out. I was very young. I was like maybe 14, and I saw it in theaters. And I had the fucking Green Goblin thing on the truck, and I was just I thought the movie was good. And the AC/DC had the "Who Made Who" song. Look at that fucking beautiful fucking thing right there. I know people like pretend this was a big movie. This was considered a shitty movie. I remember Siskel and Ebert said it sucked ass, and I was like, I'm still gonna go see it. And I went and saw it at the Oceana Movie Theater in Brighton Beach, Brooklyn. Shah, have you seen it? Oh, where's Shah?
Hold on, I was grabbing the movie. I got a cool steelbook of it. Give me one
Oh.
second. I'll pull it out for you.
Of what? Burial Ground?
No, Maximum Overdrive.
Holy shit. B-Show, have you seen it?
No, I'm familiar with it though. But I know what you mean about this movie, and there's a couple on my list that I didn't go with because I feel like there's a lot of movies people champion to be like, not counterculture, but what's the thing?
Cult?
Antithetical for the sake of it.
Mhm.
But there's a lot of people that do that. It's almost like a credibility card that they want to throw around. But there's a lot of movies like this that I don't remember anyone talking about that people
No.
just magically say is the greatest thing ever now.
Yeah. Yeah. And Stephen King did direct it. Look at that. Oh, Shah. Wow. Oh, look, it's just so perfect. I got that Green Goblin. I mean, what a great fucking idea for the movie.
Wait, where you at?
You know, I think it's actually.
You know what? Let's
Here we go,
do
Shah.
something real quick. I got a digital copy. We can give that away. Let's give it away to somebody that can watch it.
Oh,
What?
Yeah, we'll give it away. Whoever scans it first, scan it, and it's yours. Or you could type
Look-
in those letters here.
Dudes, guys in the chat.
I
This
don't know
is
if we can-
huge. This is fucking awesome, Shah. Wow. Get on that chat room.
I don't know if people can see that.
Yeah, she said Joe Punch is the woman of voice. Yardley Smith is in it. Of course,
But you should be able to scan it. You should just be able to scan that QR code.
If you scan it, the first person to tweet I want it at Spitball Media on Twitter gets it. How about that? If you can't scan it, go to Twitter and say I want it. Say Shah, I want it, and it's yours.
Well, no, they can.
Wow.
Whoever's watching this live right now, they can just grab it.
Well, there's so many people in the chat. We got to be fair. You got to reward speed.
Well, no, you can't. Somebody probably already got it. It's.
You
all they
think
gotta
somebody
do is
already got it? Well, they didn't say I got it. Nobody said
Yeah.
that they scanned it in the
Well,
chat.
people usually don't. They just.
Oh, they just scan it. Okay, well,
Yeah.
people, if you can't scan it, tweet at us on Twitter that say I want Shah, I want your Maximum Overdrive. And
Yeah, if nobody
you'll
got
get
it yet and it didn't work on the live, just tweet us in the first person.
Yeah, first person to tweet I want it on Twitter gets it. Shah, did you like the movie? Joe Punches said I tried, but no go. Congratulations, Joe Punches. It's yours. You were the first person to acknowledge.
Here, Joe Punches. I'll send it to you right now.
Yep. Look at that, Joe. Well, now you got it, buddy.
I thought it was okay. It's not a great Stephen King
It's
story.
not, but it's good.
It is
passable.
directed by Stephen King, though.
That's
which is
why I
kinda
think everybody
crazy.
blows the movie. It sucks the movie's balls. That's why I think.
That's why it's kind of crazy.
That's why I think. But I love that Green Goblin is just the fact that it's an undriven car that's trying to kill you with that Green Goblin coming in. It's
So
amazing.
they actually found the Green Goblin front of the truck in the middle
Isn't
of
that
the woods
crazy?
somewhere. They found it in
Yeah,
the woods.
Yeah. Well, thank
How
you,
crazy
Joe
is that?
Punches. Yeah, we'll do more giveaways. Maybe we'll try to do something like once a month or something like that. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
But Bisha, what's your next movie?
Well, I found this picture. I want to ask Shah about it because it's kind of disturbing. This is from the movie he talked about. Where to go? Burial Ground. Is this the boy kissing his mom?
Yeah, it's got some weird shit in there, man.
Here, let me share this. This is fucking weird.
Yeah,
Oh
it's a weird movie.
Well, it's the Italians. What do you
Yeah,
want
the
me to tell you?
Italians got crazy in the 80s, man.
The Italians.
You should
Look.
we
It
talked
was a
about
rough time in
Caligula.
Italy.
Listen, we talked about Caligula.
Look at that creepy motherfucker.
Yeah, he's sucking on his mom's titty in the movie. There.
Oh
Yeah,
it's
they
a
just
wild
probably
movie,
don't have
man.
that. This is insane. Bisha, what's your next movie?
What are we doing? Horror?
Yeah.
I threw House on there because I know
Oh, you
it's
love
kind of
House,
a cult
yeah.
movie. People talk about it now.
That's
but
another movie. When it was out, I don't recall people saying it was so great, and now they love it.
What's weird about House, and the reason I threw it on there, is because I think it was 1985. There we go. So House came out in 1985. It was directed by Sean Cunningham, who did the first Friday the 13th movie and produced some of the early movies. It's got some people in it like what is it? The Greatest American Hero. What's his name? William Catt. George Wendt from Cheers. Richard Mull from Night Court. There's some familiar faces.
Richard
Minnie
Mull.
Sterling.
Oh my god!
The movie, I want to say the budget was like 5 million, and I think it did like 20 or 30 million, which
Jesus
in that
Christ.
time, that's on par with some of the Friday the 13th movies that supposedly did
It
very
is.
well.
Yeah,
but no one ever talks about it as far as being this big financial success.
Yeah. Well, again, it's weird how that works out, right? Because there's certain things that people just completely drop out there and say it's great. But, and then I feel that there are people who now look back on it and go, I was all right. Or they go, oh, I love this from the beginning. And you're like, no, you probably didn't.
Look,
you probably
$3 million budget, $22 million gross.
Jesus. Yeah, William Catt was Catt was popular. He had just had the Greatest American Hero show, I think a little before that. But I'm a fan. I'm a fan of it. I like it. I don't remember it very well. Shah, what's your next one?
I was looking for I got the House box set. I was looking to see if it's got a digital, so I could give that away. It doesn't.
Oh shit.
Oh, it doesn't. Okay.
Yeah, it's got all 4 movies. I've never seen the sequels.
What's your next picky pick?
Dario Argento, 1989. The Church.
Look
Have you
at
seen
that
the
cover. No, I've
I've
never
never seen that one.
Really?
I've never even heard of it. No, I've never heard of it.
Oh shit, man. Yeah, it's about it's like a medieval. It starts out medieval, which I think there should be more medieval horror movies.
Whoa.
And there's basically like a curse underneath this church, and all these demons come to life. It's a pretty fucking crazy movie. It's one of my favorite Argento. Share the screen. Can we show some screen caps?
Yeah, it keeps popping
Drew
off.
Yard's in the house. Shout out to Drew Yard. That looks cool as fuck. Yeah. I've never heard of this. I'm dead serious. Wow, Argento. Look at that. Oh, that's going to bother me for the rest of the night. It's a demon with human teeth or horse teeth.
You got to check this out.
It's a demon head made out of like dead bodies. Holy shit.
Oh my God. What year is this? 85? 89.
89.
Wow. Late 80s. Okay. Argento in the house. I got to look this up, Isha. I've never heard of this.
This looks fantastic. I've heard of most of the other Dario Argento movies at the time, but not this one.
Wow. Yeah, even the Yarsifer is intrigued by this.
That's hard to do because he's not a huge fan of these movies.
Yes, the Yarsifer is intrigued. This is a movie people have probably heard of. This is my second pick there. I remember the radio ad for this, and if there was ever a way we could play it, I would love to play it. A lot of people like it now, and it gets a lot of props now from the modern, like hipster horror people. But I'm talking about 1982's Pieces. I remember the radio ad for this where it says something like, where's Barbara? Is she in the bedroom? Is she in the dining room? Is she in the kitchen? She's in all of them. Pieces. I remember hearing that, shitting my 11-year-old pants, going, I have to watch this movie. I know a lot of people like it now, but this is 1982 chainsaw slasher movie, B-Show. Still early in the genre.
What you will see in the movie Pieces cannot be revealed.
Is this it?
No. It's different, but this is cool too.
Cannot even be imagined.
Imagine hearing this in the radio driving an AM with your parents.
I miss the old radio spots, man. That's one thing I miss about not having terrestrial radio on all the time.
What you think it is.
Let's see if he says it.
Absolutely no one under 17 will be admitted.
I love that voice, huh? Shah, have you seen this?
Yeah, I also own that one. That's a classic. I love that movie.
Is
Grindhouse
it though?
classic.
I don't. Yeah, I mean,
I
like,
think so, yeah.
is it a foreign film? I was trying to remember if it was dubbed.
I thought it was Italian.
I thought it was Italian dubbed, but these were all dubbed. Remember, they're dubbed, so it's like, you know.
Well, they
but
also
the
had
radio-
some English actors in there. I never understood Italian movies because
They would dub the English actors. They would always dub the
Yeah,
English.
it was
actors.
very
Dubbed
weird.
everybody. Yeah,
It was
they
put out by
dubbed them
Film
all.
Ventures, which I think that's Italian. Maybe not, headquartered in Atlanta.
Wow, same people put out fucking Day of the Animals. What an underrated movie. Good Lord. It's great. I mean, I love it. I don't feel like it's on Tubi and Peacock has it. Holy
Peacock,
shit.
wow.
Why the fuck does I forgot that guy's 43% Rotten Tomatoes. It's like porn level. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Who didn't do their second movie yet? Did you guys all did yours?
Yeah, we all did the second one.
All right, who's gonna do their third? Bisha, why don't you drop your third, then Shah, you drop yours, and I'll drop mine.
I don't really have a third one. I guess I could throw out the Prowler, but that's pretty much a paint by numbers.
But very
slasher
very
movie.
culty. Very culty. If people haven't seen it, I recommend the Prowler. Shah, have you
Yeah,
seen
so
it?
it's
I actually have not. No.
It's great.
what is 1981? Yeah, 1981.
People love that movie.
I always get
remember-
that one mixed up with the Valentine's Day movie.
Oh, I
They're
get it
pretty
confused
similar.
with the Burning occasionally, but
Yeah, and that's why I almost didn't mention it because they all kind of run together. But
mhm.
basically, the Prowler is like some veteran or some dude from a military school who went crazy years ago. I know that
Mhm.
sounds familiar. And then years later, they're having like some debutante ball, and then he comes back and he's killing people. There's some pretty
Yep.
cool kills in it. Like
Very
leaving
cool
the
kill. And
girls
that
in the
costume, look how
shower.
great that costume is, guys. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
The costume's great. Shah, what's your last horror for the 80s?
My last one is Rabid Grannies. You ever seen this one?
Oh, I've seen. Of course, it's Stroma, right?
Yeah, Trauma's from '88. Basically, two elderly ladies. They're sharing their birthday, and
Oh,
it's
this is
basically a
great.
zombie movie. It's a fucking trauma zombie film where I think this is one of the first times I've seen women as serial killers in a movie. For me, anyway.
Let alone grandmas.
Yeah, let alone grandmas.
Wow, look at that shot through the mouth right there.
Yeah.
That's a great
Good
fucking
movie.
shot right there.
If you
a
like that
great
trauma
fucking
charm,
shot.
like this has it.
Oh, that's a great fucking shot. Wow. I haven't seen this in so goddamn long. I'm not even joking. I think I rented this once. That's 1988. Okay. I think I rented it once. I definitely you know, it's funny, Shah. I think it's a trauma movie that's from the same year. I was gonna go with Celebrity Babes in the Slime Bowl-O-Rama. Have you guys ever seen that? It's great.
No, I haven't seen that one.
Have you heard of it?
No, that's trauma.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let's see if I'm right. It might not be trauma.
So it looks like
Celebrity
a
Babes
newer
of the
movie.
Slime Bowl-O-Rama. A Slime Bowl-O-Rama. I rented
When is it
this.
from?
88.
Really?
It's got Lena Quigley in it. Pull this cast up, show, because it's got like the OG. Leah Quigley is maybe the OG of OG.
Wow.
Yeah,
This
she's
is a
in like every
terrible
horror movie.
Yeah,
This is
Luana Quigley. I don't see anybody else
Robin
really.
Michelle. Yeah, she was like the star of it. They shot the
Buck
movie
Fl-
in 12
Buck
days.
Flower. That guy sounds familiar. Who's that?
Oh my god, it was gross $90,000.
But that sounds so fun. I love those.
$90,000.
I love those old titles like Sorority Babes in the Slimeball Bowl-O-Rama. Like those
Yeah, it's
super
amazing.
long.
It's exactly
Oh.
like what you think it would be. It is filthy, stupid. It is. I thought this was Trauma Shah. I guess I'm wrong. I don't know who released this picture. Can we just check that again? I'm just curious
Yeah. Let's
because
see.
this reeks of Trauma Shah, doesn't it?
Urban
It kind of
Classics.
looks better than Trauma. That's why I said I don't think it is Trauma.
Okay, no,
Trauma
the
was
budget
like
was
bottom of the barrel,
okay.
dude.
Yeah, yeah. It's really like it's so dopey. Like honestly, like you should just smoke a big bag of crack and just put this on and just let the world run through you. But those are our 80s. Oh, Joe has Winged Serpent from 82. Is Winged Serpent Q? That's Q,
Yeah.
right? Oh,
Yep.
I love Q. People love Q. See, but Q to me is considered a solidified classic.
Yeah,
Like
it's a
Q the
banger.
Winged Serpent. It's got great people in it. It's got major player people in that motherfucker.
I always thought that
That's
was
for
from the
sure.
70s for some reason.
No, I think it's 80 or 81.
Yeah, it's at 82, but
82, yeah.
82.
Wow.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's badass. Man, that's pretty badass. You know what I'm saying? Action movies are a little different for the 80s because some of them was so mainstream, so I had a hard time with it. Did you have a hard time with it, B-Show?
I did.
Other
Action
than
for the
like the
80s.
mainstream of the mainstream?
And this one was even mainstream, but I put it on there because I didn't want to go with too many of the obvious ones. And this one
Yeah.
is fucking hated, even though I think it's a good movie. License to Kill. I think it's from 1982.
License to Kill.
It's a Bond film, and it stars Timothy Dalton, and people
Oh, the
fucking
Dalton
hate it.
Bond. What's the who does the theme for that one? I just watched an 80s Bond movie.
Oh,
Wasn't with
fuck.
Dalton. I'm trying to remember.
I think it's either a new wave or a poppy 80s band.
It's not Duran Duran. They do A View to a Kill. That was a
let me
different
see.
one. License to Kill.
Gladys Knight. Okay.
Who did it?
So it
Gladys
said Gladys Knight.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
So this movie takes place, I believe, in Miami and maybe even in Cuba, but
Mm.
it's about cocaine smuggling. So it has almost like a Scarfacey type vibe to it.
Who's the
And
villain?
it's two very familiar looking dudes. This
Oh,
guy's
Robert Davi. Yeah, from
yes.
Showgirls.
And then his brother, his younger brother, is
looks like Issa
none other than
Morales, but I don't know that that's
Benicio
actually
del
him.
Toro.
That's not Benicio. Benicio del Toro's like my age. You know how old he'd have to
Let
be
me
here?
see.
No,
Who is it? Yeah, it is. Benicio
Oh, it
del
is?
Toro.
Oh my God. Wait, how old is that motherfucker? I thought he was my age.
Yeah, so basically, Robert Davi and Benicio
Jesus.
del Toro are brothers that are involved in drug smuggling, and Wayne Newton's in it, kind of as their legit face because he's in Vegas, like
Oh my
as like
God.
this
Priscilla
musician.
Barnes
Yeah.
is in it too. Holy, from
Yeah.
Three's Company. Goddamn.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Shah,
threw it in there. It is a
I'm
big
sorry.
movie, but I threw it in there because like everyone hates this movie.
Well, it's a
'cause got
lower
Timothy
tier
Dalton in it.
Bonds movie. It's a lower
But
tier
it's still a
Bond
pretty
movie.
good movie. There's some good action in it, and yeah.
Shah, you ever seen any Bond movies? They're very good.
the only one I've seen is the one with
Ball is in it.
the villain had like platinum teeth.
Well, you're talking about Jaws. Yeah, he was in a bunch of the 70s. Yeah, he's in the Roger
That's the only
Moore
one I've seen.
world. Yeah, he's in the
I
Roger
was a
Moore
kid.
world.
I was like a
Oh, shout
fucking
out to
child.
Dirk. Big Dirk's in here. Dirk's joining us.
What up?
What up, Dirk? Shah, did you have an 80s action film? Like I said, most of them are very mainstream. I have a one that's considered terrible, but now everybody likes it as usual. But what do you have?
Yeah, I have a Bolo Young movie actually.
Bolo?
Yeah, it's called Blood Fight. This is a double
I've
feature
never heard of that.
Bolo Young, which is
Is he
cool.
still alive, Bolo? Is Bolo still
Yeah,
alive?
he's doing appearances at conventions.
Oh, I would love to meet Bolo. Wow, Bolo Young. Look at him right
it's
there.
a top movie
Oh
right here.
shit! Yeah.
He was so cock diesel for the genre. What a perfect villain.
I love
size.
Bolo, man. Bolo was a fucking.
He was a believable, scary guy. Bolo.
Hell
wasn't
yeah.
he?
He was like a Japanese Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a 72-inch chest or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, his chest was enormous. Jesus Christ. Druyari knows him as the bad guy in Bloodsport. Yeah, he's like a bad guy in everything, Druyari. I can't see him as a hero. Is he a hero in Blood Fight? Look at the size of that man.
I actually
Imagine
think
having
he
to
is
fight
a
this dude.
hero. I think he is a protagonist in Blood Fight.
That's interesting. I have Bolo Young.
Is it
John
is he
Lee,
Korean?
AKA Bolo. I think he's Dutch Irish, Bisha.
He wears some wooden shoes and plays his
I'm
bagpipe.
pretty sure he's Dutch Irish, isn't he, Sean?
I thought he was German.
You thought he was German?
Yeah,
Did you meet him when you were in Germany?
I did. I got a photo op, man.
Shah, do you have any other action ones? Because every action one was super famous. It was hard for me to pick obscure ones. All the ones are so popular.
I got another one. It's a Deodato movie. It's called The Barbarians. That was with the Barbarian.
Ah, the Barbarian Brothers. You love this movie.
I fucking love this movie. Dude, it's such a perfect mix of horror, cheesy comedy, and action. It's so bad, but it's good.
So
Dude looks like Judge Doom. What the hell?
Oh,
it's such a weird little fucking.
Shah, are their voices dubbed in there or they're not?
I don't I can't remember. I haven't seen this for a while.
Yeah, that would be a fun movie. Like
It's got
just
Michael
get high and
Berryman in
watch.
there.
Yeah, of course it does.
This
this
is
took
such a
place-
fun movie. It's on Tubi. You guys got to watch this.
Oh my
Of
God.
course it is.
Such a Tubi movie.
It's so terrible. Was there ever a documentary about them? I would watch that in a heartbeat if there
I
was.
would
I
watch
would love
that.
to learn
Hell yeah.
everything about them. They're in DC Cab, which is one
Are
of
they
my
alive?
favorite. Steroids had to kill at least one of them, or the other one had to kill the other one. I don't know.
Yo, they were in DC Cab. Shout out to Dirk.
66.
Dirk put me on DC Cab.
DC Cab's amazing. I love DC Cab. DC Cab's amazing. DC Cab.
Slate
Look at
Sheet
that
says
cast.
one died.
What? Oh, one died. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wait, is this Bill Maher's one movie credit that he had?
He's got a couple, but this is one of them. Yeah, this is a great movie.
DC Cab.
Still is Paul Rubens. You got Bill Maher, Adam Baldwin, Mr.
Paul
T,
Rodriguez.
Gary Busey. There's other people. John Deal. John Deal's been in a bunch
Gloria
of shit.
Gifford.
Yeah, Gloria Gifford. If you scroll down, there's a couple. I think some people have very small cameos too. Some other people. I like this movie. It's very gritty. It's very stupid, but it's just fun. They don't even have the main star in here. Go up to the top. The dude from My Bodyguard. What the fuck? Where is he? Adam Baldwin. There he is. Yeah, Adam Baldwin. He looks nothing like that these days, but from when he did that. By the way, DC in the 80s looked like a hell on earth. My God, did that look terrible. But my movie is so obscure, and the only other person who's going to know this movie is anybody who got comic books in the 80s, like Mike from the Necromaniacs podcast. I think it was Marvel. It might have been DC, but in 1985 or 84, I think it was 84, there with the back ad, what they would do is they would put a full movie ad in a comic book, right? Or in an in sleeve. But this movie, this in 1984, 85, I was buying tons of comics. I think they were 35 cents. They might have been a little more. They might have been 50 cents. But I think they were 35 cents or 50 cents. Anyway, this movie was advertised on the back of every comic book for like a whole season. It's called The Ice Pirates. Have either one of you ever heard of this movie? It is
No.
terrible. I will see that movie poster in my when I show up to the gates of hell. I've seen because of so look at this cast, by the way. Robert Urich, Ron Perlman. Ron Perlman is in this fucking.
Wow.
Bruce Valanche is in the movie. Bruce Valanche. Angelica fucking Houston, Academy Award winner. She's an Academy Award winner. John Carradine. It's a dystopian. Oh, you know who Carmen Philby is? Is that
Yeah.
Blue from fucking Old
It
School?
is, yeah. He's been in a
Jesus
lot of shit.
Jesus Christ on the cross. Holy God.
He was in Wedding Singer as like a drunk hobo. He was a
old,
preacher
yeah,
in
he was old,
Halloween
yeah.
4. He's in everything.
Guys, can you go to the movie poster? This was on the back of every comic. Dirk's saying he saw this in theaters. This was on the back of every comic book I bought in 1984. Every one.
I've seen the
page.
poster.
Oh, it's like a bad Flash Gordon. Like look at some of these stills.
Oh my God.
This was a mainstream film. This was like big, like this was supposed to make money.
What the fuck?
Look at this motherfucker. You guys need to check this out, man.
Dude,
You
I
guys
feel like
really-
this is the type of movie Vinegar Syndrome would put out on like 4K.
You
This is
think so?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
This is the exact
Oh,
same
for sure.
type of movies they do.
Oh my God, Shah, you got to get this. You guys got to see this. This is
If
a
it's-
cracked out Flash Gordon.
If it's streaming anywhere, this is the type of movie we should do a watch party to.
Guys, I'm telling you, you need to see. Like it's so fucked up. That's Bruce Valanche, by the way.
Oh my God.
No, I'm serious. Guys, this movie is fucking like you don't like 10 minutes in and you're like, what? What is this? Like, is everybody on cocaine? Everybody had to be on coke on this movie. I would love to look at Ron Perlman. Look at Ron Perlman. Dude,
That's
look at
amazing.
him. He looks like Razor Ramon. Unbelievable.
Hellboy
looks like-
is Razor Ramon.
Yeah,
He almost-
Hellboy is Razor Ramon. Space
He almost
Hawk
looks
is
a little
Dirk
like
Ramones
Don
is-
Tony-ish there. Like young Don
Yeah,
Tony.
maybe we'll do that.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll
I'll
do
see
that
that.
for the watch party. He does have a Don Tony quality. I like the bandana. All right, let's do some 80s dramas. And then what we'll do is every week we'll do a different genre if we can. We'll do our 90s next week. So if you guys want to add to it, because it's just too dense. We could be here all day doing it. And we really want to get to Patreon. But I have 80s dramas. Did you guys get any good? I have great 80s dramas. They're fantastic. B-Show, do you have an 80s? Look at that. She looks great. B-Show, do you have a great 80s drama that's not It's kind of like a gem. I got 3.
No, not really, because I didn't really like. I've most of the older movies I've watched have been genre stuff or like
Uh-huh.
horror and comedy and stuff. So no, I have one for the '90s. I was gonna throw Blue Velvet out there, but I think that's a little too
Yeah, it's so popular. I was thinking
expected.
about that too, but it is culty. I think that's fair to say because not everybody's seen that movie. B show. It's late
Mhm.
'80s. It's maybe one of the Dennis Hopper in that movie is just on a level I don't even know how to describe. He's like Hannibal Lecter in that movie.
Yeah, and it's very it's very David Lynch. I mean, it
Oh
looks
my god,
beautiful. It's got a weird. There's a lot of
87.
weird idiosyncratic details that go on in the movie.
Mm.
If you
It's a
haven't
very
seen it, go
smart
check it
film.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a critic's darling, but I don't think it's a kind of movie. Look at young Laura Dern and Kyle
Mhm.
MacLachlan. Shab, you've seen Blue Velvet, right? It's fucking tremendous.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I can't see you not loving that movie.
Definitely my
Uh,
favorite David Lynch movie.
some people, I just want to recognize some of the stuff to drop it in there. Buckaroo Banzai would have been a great pick. Joe Punches for sure. Legend of Billie Jean. Chris Matthews throws that out there. Less Than Zero. Drew Yari. The book is so much better, but I just recently watched Less Than Zero. I still think it holds up. And Joe Punches is clean and sober at Michael Keaton. I think that's maybe 90, but it's maybe 89. Buckaroo Banzai's got Lithgow's out of his mind in that. Shah, you want to drop your dramas and then I'll drop my dramas and then we'll head on over to the old Patreon?
Yeah, my drama's from 1985. It's a war movie. We've recommended it on the show before, but I feel like nobody still knows about it. And it's a little movie called Come and See, and it's one of the most disturbing movies I've ever
Joy
seen.
and Noel, right? Joy and Noel.
Yeah, it's a rough movie, dude. It's rough. It's realistic.
This is
look at
not
some of
for
these screen
everybody.
caps.
This is not for everybody. This is a very difficult movie to watch.
It's a war movie at its finest. Like,
Is this supposed? Yeah. Isn't it called Joy and Noel? Isn't that what that means?
I don't know.
People say it might be one of the most disturbing films of all time. B-Show, you've never seen it, huh?
No.
Yeah, it's difficult to. It's
It's a
very,
beautiful
very, very
movie though. Like, it's beautifully made. It's not a cheap looking movie.
Oh God, no. It's very trippy. Who directed this, B-Show? Would you mind just jumping on that real quick?
Yeah.
Come and See.
It's a foreign movie too, I believe.
Yeah, no, it's a foreign movie.
Elam Kilmoff.
Kilmoff. Well, he looks. Wow, what did he make? Agony. Look at these movies. My God, Agony. Wonder what that's about, Shah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Holy
I'd be
shit.
curious. I'd be curious to check out the rest of them though.
Now, Shah, is Come and See about Stalingrad? Is that what that was? Because there's a movie called Stalingrad that's actually more of a documentary. It's really, really rough.
No, it's about World War II.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about World War II.
But is it told from the Russian perspective, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. And Russia was an ally.
Yeah.
Lest everybody forget, Russia lost millions of people in the war as well. Millions of people, Russia. So the Russian perspective there must be pretty intense. But yeah, this is not for everybody. Just straight up, very difficult to watch. Shah, what else you got for the 80s?
I thought we were gonna do sci-fi, so I don't. This was the only drama I had.
Oh yeah, I got some sci-fi. What that was the only drop. Well, I'll do one 80s pick that I think a lot of people have maybe heard of for drama, and then we'll do sci-fi and head out. 1986, very cult movie called River's Edge, also Dennis Hopper. Phenomenal, groundbreaking movie. Look at this cast, guys. This is a very young Keanu Reeves. We got a very young Crispin Glover, Ione Skye. There's other people. Joshua John Miller is somebody. I can't think of who he is. Leo Rossi, Tom Bauer. Have any of you guys seen this film?
Oh, Taylor Negron. I didn't know Leo Rossi
Yeah.
was in this movie.
Yeah, this is a fucking brilliant. It's roughly based on a true story about a kid who kills somebody. It's brutal. It's kind of like an edgy Stand By Me in a lot of ways. That's really what it was compared to. This is a fucking fantastic film. I can't say enough good things about it. It was probably one of the first art house kind of films I saw as like a young teen that stood out to me. It's super uncomfortable. Shah, you've never seen this?
I don't think so. No, it sounds familiar, but I don't think I've seen it.
What about you, the B of the show?
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it. There's a lot of like character actor
Yeah, who's
people in
that
here.
Joshua John Miller? He looks so
He's in Near
familiar.
Dark, Teen Witch.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Okay.
he's the third vampire in Near Dark, isn't he? Of the three
Yeah.
vampires with
And
Paxton,
then
right?
Daniel Roebuck ended up playing Grandpa Munster in the Rob Zombie Monsters show.
But he stole Pee-wee's bicycle, didn't he?
No,
That's
that's
not him? Oh, okay. Who's that?
no. Can't remember the name.
What else is Daniel Roebuck in?
This guy is
That's the guy who stole Pee-wee's bicycle.
Mark
Francis
Holton.
Buxton. Oh,
Mark
okay.
Holton.
Yeah, I was like, why are we showing the guy who showed Pee-wee's bicycle?
I forgot I was sharing. I was trying to figure out who it was.
Oh, okay. I was like, huh? What?
He's in U.S. Marshals, Matlock,
Matlock.
Grill. That's it. Not a whole lot.
All right.
And
Bisha,
then,
do you have any? Oh, I'm sorry. Leo
I was just gonna
Rossi.
say, Leo Rossi did the Amazing Grace Come Sit on My Face poem in Halloween 2. That's how I know him.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of genre people in this. You guys need to see this, man. It's hard as nails. This is a rough movie, man.
Dude, anything with Dennis Hopper, I'm sold on.
Yeah.
Like this is like they all know he killed somebody, and it's just like it's really, really weird, man. Look at Crispin Glover. My God. Look, the darkest teen film of all time. Yeah, it's like this kid killed his girlfriend and left her in the woods, and everybody knows about it, but nobody's saying anything. That's literally because they're all stoners and like metalheads, and like they all know he did it. Like it's not like they know he did it, right? You know, and nobody like does anything about it. Fucking wild. Yeah, yeah, it's like literally like Stand By Me, like a cracky Stand By Me, like just the most uncomfortable version of Stand By Me you ever could fucking see, honestly. I
John,
highly, what's that?
That was a haiku.
What? Oh, was it? Did I just do an inadvertent haiku? Shah, what's your sci-fis that you're dropping on us?
I actually found one more drama I want to mention.
Oh, drop that drama.
It features Malcolm McDowell, and it's called The Caller. And he basically plays this stranger that visits this woman in the woods. You got to put in the 80's movie. Yeah. Okay. He's a stranger. He shows up at this lady's house, and they basically start playing these games with each other where he accuses her of murdering her kid, her lover, and her husband.
Oh my God, I've never heard of
this. It's like a mystery noir drama. It's good. It's not a horror movie.
That girl looks very familiar. That woman, did she play Chevy Chase's wife in that weird movie about when they moved to the country or something? Hold on.
The Farm?
Madeline Smith. What is that? Click on her. She looks very 80's familiar.
No, she was in
Funny Farm.
Cowboy.
Yeah, she's the wife in Funny Farm.
Funny Farm,
yeah. Yeah, and she's an urban cowboy. I think she look. By the way, if she's so, I think she's an urban cowboy. She looks good in Urban Cowboy. The super, goddamn, that's a good looking lady. Look at that 80's pose where she's popping the collar. Isn't that something?
The big
that's her. Yeah,
dude,
look how pretty she is in goddamn Urban Cowboy. My God, fucking hell, man. God damn. Wow. She probably had that backed up 80's bush in all these movies too, but you know that you could fucking drop a hornet's nest in and you wouldn't find it. Who's got the sci-fi before we head out? Shah, you got your sci-fi on deck? It blurs with horror.
Yeah, I got Battle of the Lost Planet from 1986.
What?
It's such a bad movie.
Oh my God, I can't wait to see
I wanted to go for deep cuts, you know. It's also called
I went for a deep cut. I went for one deep cut.
It's a shit movie.
I want to see this. I need to see this. Look at that.
It's a Vinegar Syndrome movie.
In the future, everyone will have tank tops.
Yeah, basically.
Is this another dubbed movie? This looks fantastic.
Yeah, I think so. It's just like a rip off of. It's a mix of like
every 80s.
Yeah, 80s sci-fi bullshit.
Mad Max.
Exactly. Yeah, Mad Max mixed with Star Wars, mixed with The Lost Planet, and
this looks fantastic. Do you have this, Shah?
I do. There's another one called Mutant War.
Mutant War.
Pretty much the same thing as this movie.
Why does every man look like Wolfman Jack in the future? Dynamite, everybody. Look at this. Mutant War.
We're going to get lost in a mutant war.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have a war with the mutants right now. High five.
Look at these creatures.
Look at that creature. Look at that piece of shit made of socks. made of socks and neglect.
I think they're
Oh,
Polish.
Shah,
I
this
think,
looks. We
I
got to
think they're
start
Polish
doing. We got to
movies.
start doing watch-alongs. We got to. We got to start
Yeah.
doing them. Oh, but can I get really high before we do them? Like edible on another level.
You need to. Yeah, you need to.
Oh, look at that! Look at that! How
Look how
have I
bad
never
that
heard of this before?
compositing is. Look at you can so tell.
They're not even trying, Bisha.
Well, keep in mind, this is like a low-budget Polish movie from the 80s. You know what I mean?
Mutant War. Oh, this didn't win any Golden Globes. How is this? Sean, this is
You know what-
88. It's not like 81. Like we made some.
Yeah, but it looks
strides.
like 81. You know?
No, you know what it
Oh,
looks
this
like?
looks-
Have you guys ever seen Strange Brew with Bob and Doug McKenzie?
I saw that in the movie theaters.
When they make their Attack of the Fleshy-Headed Mutants AD or whatever it is, that's
Yeah.
what this looks like to me.
I don't think anybody could top that. Bisha, did you have it? You didn't have a sci-fi, right? I have one.
Not really. I mean, the closest I got was Night of the Creeps, but that's another one of those
Yeah,
that
that's a
people
gooder,
fawn
though.
over now.
People never saw it. I got one, and it's on Tubi, and you might recognize the poster. I rented this because of the box in the in the video store. Bisho, can you put up Forbidden World? This is a piece of shit, but it's
Oh my
fun.
god.
Where do you see this? This is similar.
Is this a Roger Corman joint or no?
I think so. Yeah. You ever remember this box? Look at that poster. Isn't that fantastic?
Mm-hmm.
Look at this
I'm pretty
creature.
sure I
shot.
have this. I think I have this.
Forbidden World.
Yeah, I have.
Fucking tastic fun.
Never seen it.
It might be. It's Corman. It's a Corman. It's his Alien show.
Well, I
Look
can
at this.
tell.
He's even got the girl in like the smock, like to mock that they're in their underwear. And Dirk loves Strange. I saw. Oh, Crow Joe punches. That would have been a great guy. Look at this. He's got like the Boba Fett looking guy on the left.
Is it
Oh,
a
this is-
parody or is it serious?
No, it's not a parody. It's parody. Are
Like
you
people
mad?
fawn over Roger Corman, but most of his
Because
shit is
he
just
was
such
like
bullshit.
the first guy to do a lot of this stuff. I mean, Roger Corman's was for the time period. Yeah, I could fawn over Roger Corman. I see that. I totally see why people would. I've seen probably more of his movies than you guys have. Look at it's just so shitty.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, you're crossing it now with Forbidden Planet, but which is but Forbidden World 1982. So next week, guys, we'll do the 90s. Okay, we'll probably have some other stories there we'll drop for you, but we have a bunch we want to get to on Patreon. But this was fun. Shah brought in some bangers. My goodness, Shah, you brought the bangers. And Joe Punches, you won a digital copy of a cool movie.
By the way, I
maybe
sent that over to Joe Punches on your Instagram. So if you want to go grab
Joe, you
that.
got it on your Instagram. So
Yeah,
so
just
enjoy
scan
that
it.
digital copy. But
Yes.
we're going to be head over to Patreon. And right now we want to do the pluggy plugs before we head out. Let's plug Deathmatch Outlaws. Let's plug the Drew Yarsifer Shosifer. The Cassette Classics 86 on the YouTubes. The Down Under Thundercast. The return of Don Tony and Kevin Castle. I think that's happening in a couple of weeks officially. Necromaniacs podcast. We want to be checking that out every week. And of course, the Inhuman Experience podcast. Ringside is Wrestling on YouTube. I'll be joining those guys in a couple of weeks in the UK. So you're going to want to check that out. We have Mojo and Dirk's Most Dastardly Show, The Garden of Doom. And then we have the Old Guy Metalcast. Of course, funkbetty.com, our good friend Mr. Anderson's clothing line. You want to be checking that out. Cherry Jesus on YouTube and his band Kaiser. And of course, my good friend Sam at the Red River Podcast. I'll be joining him some point over the winter here for a little podcast conversation. The Bayou Geeks. That's Fatty316. We love him. Hi, Mox Podcast, Midnight Mass Creature Cast. And of course, the Weekly Detour with Anthony Nelson and Teddy. And our friends over at the Guns and Geeks Podcast. Shah, what do you got on Planet Mondo happening?
I'm actually dropping a new video tomorrow. Well, I'm working on it tomorrow since we have a snow day. So I don't want to spoil it, but subscribe to Planet Mondo. Should have a new video by tomorrow night. Hopefully.
Oh, wow. Okay. We'll be checking that out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for Planet Mondo, of course. B-Show, they know you're dropping the big show this weekend for the Patreon, but do you have anything happening on the B-Show Brian channel?
I've got a few things cooking, so just go to bshowbrian.com and subscribe to the channel, and I'll be putting something up hopefully by the end of the month. I'm getting kind of close, though.
Okay, yeah. So it's coming up, and of course, everyone in the Patreon, remember, get those questions in. You still got time to get those questions in. We'll give you a reminder every week. We'll be doing that at the end of this month, and we'll be doing it every month going forward, probably up until the next holiday season. So you're going to want to be doing that. And of course, if you listen to this on the free, you got $5. Treat yourself. You've been good all last year. You got tax money coming soon. Head on over to patreon.com/break the app. $5 will get you probably about 1,000 hours of exclusive content, theme shows, original shows, everything's there for you. But we'll see you guys next week. We'll do this again, and we'll give you plenty of other entertainment news. Always here at Spitball Media Podcast. Thanks so much.